Key working really is absolutely at the heart of the early support approach. When you meet families who are coming to terms with a diagnosis that they have, that their child is disabled, they really desperately need somebody who's actually going to help them through the myriad of experiences that they're going to have in the next few months. And very often when you talk to families, they will say that that's the one thing that they never experienced. They might have been in hospital, had a baby, found out there was something wrong, found a leaflet on their bed when they came back into the ward, and then discharged from the hospital.
Once we got a key worker, it was amazing, the amount of stress that was suddenly lifted off my shoulders, and I was no longer a PA, I was no longer constantly on the phone. I actually had time in the day and I could sit down and actually read a magazine, which I'd not done for a long time. And we could actually play, we could do things with my other daughter that we'd not had the opportunity to do because mum was always on the phone constantly.
People think that key working has got to be somebody, a person who is a key worker and does nothing else but perhaps do a one-to-one with the family. That's not really the case, because what we're talking about in early support is that key working is a way of working, it's an approach, and it covers probably 4 main areas. It's about being able to give people the information that they need and signpost them to the information that they might need. It's about coordination, it's about helping a family coordinate what might be 20 different professionals. It's about planning as well, because families need to know where they're going. More than anything else, it's about the emotional support that a family may need at different parts of that journey. Now, that all sounds incredibly complicated and it could sound as if it's going to be really expensive, but the point is actually that's not rocket science. None of those things are rocket science. It's about a way of working, and it's about people feeling confident that they can provide that range of support to a family, and the multi-agency team that's helping that family through their journey to actually decide which person around that table is actually best placed to take on those roles. So it might be an occupational therapist, might be the social worker, might be an educational psychologist, but it's one person who that family can then say, right, when I'm really up against the wall, I know that I can pick up the phone, I know that person will be able to help me through the next bit and is going to be there over the long term.
Oh, I love it. I love it. It's fabulous to get to know the families. It's really nice to get a special relationship with the family.
You do find out a lot more about the family, and you do develop perhaps more of a closer bond in some sense, because you have more communication.
I think as healthcare professionals, we've always worked as a multidisciplinary team. So we've always liaised with our physiotherapy and speech and language therapy colleagues. Within the children's centre setting, we also liaise with the nursery and the Action for Children staff. But I think now we perhaps work a little bit more closely with education and social services. So we were always a multidisciplinary team, but now we're a multi-agency team.
I had no idea about housing association benefits, lots of different areas outside of education. I had absolutely no idea a lot of these services existed. Families find them very, very useful, and for me, I found it very useful to get to know that they do exist. And it's helped me in my other role as an educational psychologist, because now I feel much more confident and more able in signposting parents to other services they legitimately should have access to.
We have regular meetings as well, where like workshops, and they bring on different professionals to the workshops, and it makes you realise how many people are out there and what they can offer as well. So your resource base gets bigger and bigger, so that you know where to go for the information, any help you need, any services you need. So it really does broaden your knowledge base.